Okay, so the Oregon Renaissance Fair is in a week and a half, and I'm gonna make an outfit for that in a week and a half. I am really gonna try to get my brain to hyperfixate as much as I possibly can on this, which it's well on its way there, so I think we might be good. We will find out. Now, if you are a subscriber to my channel and have been following me for a little bit, then you know that I've taken a little bit of a break from my YouTube channel just because I hit a pretty bad depressive episode and I'm kind of starting to get out of it. So I really want to finish my Carnivale costume. I will get there eventually. Thankfully, we are super early for next year, but I just can't get my brain to want to think about it, and every time I try to work on it, I just get really meh, and then I haven't put out a video in 4 months. So we're gonna change gears. I'm really excited about this project, and I feel like I can get back into sewing with this because honestly, I haven't sewn anything since my last video. So we kinda gotta dust off all the old sewing things. Anyway, I went to the fabric store and spent too much money because that's what I do. I bought this purely because it's plaid and beautiful and I couldn't not buy it. So I'm gonna just make a simple skirt out of that, but probably not a video on it. I just had to show you that it was really pretty fabric. Now this is really boring in comparison, but this is what's going to be my Ren Fair dress. It's linen, and what I think I'm gonna do is do like a corset style dress. I'm also not going with any sort of pattern for this, so let the chaos ensue. Hi, okay. When I said there's gonna be no pattern, there's gonna be no organized pattern. I'm going to use the stays pattern that I've been using for the Carnivale dress, which you saw in my last video that I was working on. And I'm really hoping that I put the modified version, I did, okay. So I have the modified version of the stays so I don't have to do any of that work over again. And I'm going to modify it further. So if you see on this stays pattern, all of this frill that's coming off, it's not gonna do that. It's gonna stop at the waist and just kind of triangle down, but it's not gonna frill out over my hips. So then I'm going to just basically attach a circle skirt to the bottom of it. And so it'll be a like stays from the waist up and then circle skirt. All right. So I've changed my mind. Well, I guess I wouldn't say I changed my mind. I've altered the plan. So instead of making a dress, we're just gonna make stays and a skirt. And I like the flexibility of having two different garments that can be worn in future outfits. So that's what we're gonna do. What I've started with is just making, I wouldn't say a mock-up because I'm not making a mock-up. I don't have time for that shit. So I have started with mock-up fabric that's going to go under the real fabric so that it has more structure. And now I think I'm just gonna start on the skirt portion. I think I'm gonna do something like my 18th century inspired skirt where it doesn't really have a closure because fuck that. I want to do something where it's open on the sides and then like ties in the front and then ties in the back. And I already have pockets that can go under that, so awesome, because it's Ren Fair. We're gonna need fucking pockets. So, yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna start with the skirt. Well, we're gonna now go forth with the skirt, and then we'll go back to the stays, because I think I want to see how much fabric I'm gonna need for the skirt portion. Okay, so here is the skirt. Woohoo! And it's like pretty boring. Not much to write home about. So what I think I'm gonna do, especially because it's linen and it's pretty see-through, and this is 2 layers, I think what I'm gonna do is make another layer. I think I have enough fabric. So basically, I'll have this layer and then a layer underneath that is a little longer so that it has like kind of layers at the bottom. And it adds a little bit more interest to the skirt while not making it too complicated. And then it will also add weight so it's a little bit more swishy and not so see-through. I'm gonna make sure I have enough fabric for that though. Also, every time I get linen, I think it's going to be easier to work with, and it's not. It never is, and it never will be. Alright, so at this moment in time, we've got 2 skirts. And one is longer than the other. They're going to be layered. And right now, what I'm going to work on is actually undoing some of the stitching on the sides, maybe like 6 inches down. And then I will connect the 2 skirts, of course, at the waistband and at the sides. And then there will be a gap here, and then with the waistband, I'll have one tie in the front and then tie in the back, and then I'll have slits for pockets, I guess. That's the plan. I'm trying to envision how I want to sew the little slits together. Like connect the 2 layers. I definitely want to, I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. All right, we have a skirt done in like, I don't know, a day and a half. not bad. And I only had a few minor meltdowns about the linen. So I think this is a success. Now, if you notice, there is a little bit of a gap that I'm not super happy with, but I do think I need to cinch it around the waist a little bit more. So I'm very happy with it. I think it's kind of fun and frilly. The hem isn't perfect, but I don't hate it. I think it adds a little bit of character, so I'm not too bothered. The next step is the bodice. Yay. Hello. Okay, so it has been a little bit since I worked on the project. I think like 4 days. I meant to work on it yesterday when I had the day off, and then I didn't. So we're going to get as much done today as physically possible. We have the beginnings of the front panel of the stays. Looks like that. And what I need to do is start sewing the boning channels. Now, you haven't seen the video on my other stays yet because I'm not done with those stays and that video isn't out yet. We will get there eventually. But I originally had sewn all of the panels of the stays together and then did the boning channels, but I think because of that, I'm going to try it a different way this time. I think I'm going to try to get the boning channels in and then maybe even the boning in, and then sew the panels together. I need to do that. I also think that I want to add one more layer. So far, there's 3 layers. There's 2 of the mock-up fabric and then 1 of the linen, obviously. But I think I want something that's a bit more structural. Structural? Yeah, sure.
So I think I'm going to do kind of like an interfacing type of fabric to go in this, just to add a little bit more strength and sturdiness. And now I'm just blathering. So we're gonna do that. Okay, cool.
All right, so I will admit that I did a very large chunk of this project yesterday, throughout the day, and I really didn't film any of it, so sorry about that, but you kind of got the gist. I put together this, and I put a bunch of the boning in, but as usual, I have run out of boning. Yeah, so that means I have to go to the store, and we all know how much I love doing that. And I've been kind of procrastinating and just kind of working on final details on this because I really don't want to go to the store. But obviously, I need to do that because Ren Fair is tomorrow, and I need to finish this dang thing. So I'm going to psych myself up to go to the store. We're going to get more boning. We're going to finish boning this last panel because that's all I need to do. And then I'm going to do something kind of blasphemous. I'm going to find some fabric in my stash, and I'm going to cut out these panels one more time in that fabric. And then I'm going to put this front to front with that fabric, and I'm going to sew it and then flip it right side out. I know that's crazy, and I don't even know if it's going to be possible with the boning in this, but I think so. I think my brain has process this correctly. And I think I'm going to be able to do it, because what I really don't want to do is case all the edges. So we're going to do it that way, and judge me if you'd like. That's fine. We're going to figure out if this works. And then I have to do the eyelets so that I can cinch it in the back. But that is the plan. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the store. It's going to be something. And we're going to get this shit done today. So as always, I am covered in fabric detritus, but I have the two sides sewn together, and that only took an eternity, and it's definitely still shedding because I just took some pinking shears around the edge to kind of secure it, I guess. I don't know, clean it up, anti-clean it up, I don't know what, I just chose to do it, so there we are. Now, we get to flip this inside out, so wish me luck. Hey everyone, it has been a while since I filmed this video. Ren Fair was on the 4th of June, I believe, and it is now August, obviously. I will say that we had a wonderful time at Ren Fair. It was my first time going to Ren Fair, and I don't know how I haven't gone before. It was amazing. Everyone there is so ridiculously nice, and all the events are really fun, and it's just really great to walk around and support local artists and see costumes and just have a good time with like-minded people. I think my outfit turned out pretty good. There's definitely some things I need to fix. First off, the stays were too big. I don't really know how that happened, but it did. So I do need to go in and kind of take them completely apart and remake them. But I think the shape was perfect. I just need to kind of shrink it because like we cinched it as far as it could go and it still wasn't tight enough. It felt like a vest rather than like a supportive garment. So I do need to go in and fix that. It is reversible, which I think is super cool. I will also say that linen is the devil. It is a wonderful fabric. I love wearing it. I just don't like working with it. The skirt was great. I think it was really cute. I think it was nice and frilly. The hem is uneven, but it doesn't bother me. I think it just adds like a quirkiness to it. I also need to take it apart and fix it because I don't like the side thingamajigger. It just, the way I did it, it creates like there's a gap. It doesn't overlap the way it should. It's just kind of clunky. So I do need to fix that and I might just put in a closure. As for life in general, I have had a very difficult summer. This year has been one of the worst for me, and I've really been trying to, live my life and go to work and do the things that I love, which is this channel. I love sewing, I love working on my videos, I love working on my social media, but I've been severely depressed and I haven't really had any energy or interest in doing the things that I care to do. Which is just kind of a continuous cycle because when you're depressed and you don't have the energy or interest in doing the things you love, then you become more depressed because you aren't doing the things you love. And it just kind of keeps going down. And I have suffered from chronic depression most of my life. I know how to handle it. But for some reason this year has been particularly bad and I can't find my footing in life. I am taking care of myself physically and I am trying to take care of myself mentally. I'm doing all the things that I need to do to help myself get out of this rut. And I do hope that I can start working on my channel more because I feel like I'm getting more inspired, especially with autumn. I am really excited for some projects coming up. I just hope that I have the motivation to work on them and to get videos up. So I am not going to promise that I am gonna be coming back like I have in the past, but I am going to try for me because this channel means a lot to me and the community that I've built here means a lot to me. So I'm glad y'all have stuck around, and if you don't wish to stick around, that's also cool. There are other good channels out there that don't talk about mental health. But I think it's important because mental health is a thing and we all need help sometimes and we all need to focus our intentions inward sometimes. Quite honestly, it's a lot harder than I ever expected it would be, and I've kind of opened the floodgates to a lot of emotions and feelings that I have just been ignoring for a long time, and it's not a pleasant process. But I do feel like this was a necessary roadblock for me to kind of reassess my life and what I want and where I'm headed and how to put myself first, because I don't really know how to do that. Stay sane, stay safe, and stay healthy, and I will see y'all next time.